This podcast is rated S for sexy and contains mature themes, explicit sexual content, and some freaky ass shit. So if your trigger warning list is longer than the schlongs in these books, protect your innocent ears from the salacious musings of this red hot pod. But if you're a pervy peach like us with one hand on your Kindle and the other between your folds, strap on, in, for the unhinged book club ride of your wet dreams.
This is Between the Folds.
Oh, and there's definitely going to be spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you. As for the rest of you freaky little strumpets, let's get into it.
Welcome to the club. Let us see between the folds where the kinks all meet. Welcome to the club. Let's slip right through between the folds where literature is loose.
Hello, it's Lusty Lieutenant Lindsay, your commander in literature this week, and I'm here with
Minister of Moisture, Elisa.
who may or may not be masturbating for her neighborhood,
and janitor of joyful orifices, Jess.
and pioneer into the brave new world of clitoral suctioning.
Woo woo! That's so good! All about the lube, And today, Lindsay's going to give us an overview, and remember, we listen and we don't judge.
Except for when we do. 3 men, 1 omega cunt.
Ooh.
Earmuffs, Elisa.
Heat Clinic is the story of having the horniest purity of your life and finding love at your local Planned Parenthood.
As we do.
Our cast, 3 men and a plant lady. That plant lady in question is Emily, our hot and mild FMC, and her nurse and the man of all of our dreams.
Sam.
If you're into the penis thing, that is. Sam, yes, Sam. Whew, give me more. Then there's Marcus, who is our most beta of the alphas.
Meh.
And his...
I feel like we're at a pantomime.
Yeah.
Boo!
Yes. We're going to be holding up signs in the background that's like 10, 2, you know. Marcus, our most beta of the alphas and not popular amongst the Between the Folds podcasters.
Yes.
And his longtime lover, photographer extraordinaire, and the alphaist of the betas, we have Tom. Not Elisa's favorite, as we will
punt
find
him
out.
off of the planet. Thank you.
So what's going on here? The question is, should Emily leave her incredibly drab life behind to be the primary object of affection of 2 rich men and 1 hot AF motorcycle riding brat?
Absolutely.
God, it's such a tough choice.
How about just the motorcycle riding brat? That sounds better.
Yeah. We don't know how she will possibly decide, but we're pretty sure one of these men is going to tell her. So if you're looking to curl up in a sticky little fuck nest with your found family, a why choose, and a happily ever after, then you've come to the right place. Heat Clinic is going to be the book for you. The spice is spicy. We've got kinks coming out of glory holes with this one, my friends.
So true.
We've got the dom, the sub, the puppy, the brat, the breeding, the nodding, the praise, the exhibitionism, the biting, the anal, the DP, and more.
And the butt plug. Let us not forget.
All hail the butt plug. So, guys, what did we think?
Was I the only one that thought, like, this is going to be about werewolves?
No, I mean, you aren't the only one.
Okay.
I also was like, okay, we're going to do some real werewolf shit this time.
Yeah.
Nope.
I still haven't gone back and read the introduction that tells you about the Omniverse and Hateverse or whatever this is.
So I do think we want to take a second. So the Omegaverse is this whole genre of like fantasy and smut where you have this dynamic of alphas, omegas, and betas. And typically in the Omegaverse, it is like werewolves. You have people and they shift into their like were form. And so they have a lot of these wolf or animal-like qualities. And the beginning of the book goes into a pretty detailed explanation of the Omegaverse. And then at the very end, it's, oh, but that's not what this book is about. And I was like, wait a second. Why'd you tell me all that information? Now I'm confused. These are just humans who are like kind of werewolfy-like, but minus the were and the wolf? I don't know.
Well, he has
minus the wolf.
He has a knot.
Yeah.
That's the only wolfy vibe.
I had to look up what knotting is. So apparently, after an alpha ejaculates, his dick swells into a knot in order to keep the cum up in there. So there's a better chance of getting the omega pregnant.
Don't let those little swimmers free. Gotta lock them in.
This is also based off of like the animal kingdom because like lions have this, they have barbs. And so it can't pull out in order to impregnate the lioness.
I'm not a lion
No.
because I used the pull-out method for 15 years. So I would have been in trouble.
You were a
as
lucky
lion.
lady.
I know.
Yeah.
Perhaps infertile. I think one can agree. I think I've beat all the odds. I'm into the concept of nodding. I think when I also read Bride,
Me
Allie
too.
Hazelwood, and that was my first introduction to nodding. And I was like, I don't know, kind of into it. It's kind of hot. So I'm not against
is
it.
hot.
I could be nodded. I'd be
What-
okay with that.
Neither.
What was hot about it?
There's sort of like a base instinct feeling about it where it's just like you're like locked together. We're bound together for this extended period of time. Maybe there's a little bit of like a loss of control element that I think is kind of sexy.
I agree with kind of like the connection piece, but also like just on the pure sex side, the concept of being stretched, but it's moist, right? So this is not a dry stretch because we know that as a minister of moisture, use lube. But that concept of like being full just in one area on the inside. And I know like in the book, they actually talked a lot about like running their fingers over her labial folds around the knot. And in different books, like the knot is in different places. Sometimes it's like at the tip of the penis. Sometimes it's at the base of the penis. But in the book, they definitely spent a lot of time literally tracing their fingers around her labial folds. And that is nice. I think at the very beginning of the book, when she went to the heat clinic, I was like, okay. And I feel like the first few, like even the first guy she has sex with, even though it wasn't like there was no love, it was just fucking, it was like, oh, all right. I'm, like this is good. Especially like with Sam, the introduction of Sam as the attendant for her and her personal attendant during her heat cycle. I spent a lot of time going, Sam is like the perfect spouse.
Yes.
He anticipates your needs. He already knows exactly what you need during your period, and you don't even have to think about it. You don't have to be present. He's going to anticipate those needs. And I thought that was like, I literally wrote in my notes when I was reading the book, and I was like, perfect husband alert. Hello. I don't think that spouses need to anticipate every need, but I think there is something about being so proactive and like taking the initiative to ensure that your spouse is cleaned and comfortable. And I loved every part of Sam's kind of initial character. I was like, oh, maybe this book is about Sam, and then enter Marcus. And I was like, well, okay, maybe not.
Yeah. He was also like funny. He had a biting sense of humor. So he wasn't like some pushover, like simp. He was the whole package. I loved him because the scenes with the two of them were the best, even interspersed throughout the book.
Correct.
When those were my favorite scenes when it was just her and Sam.
I don't know. As a healthcare provider, perhaps I should find it questionable that he is her like essentially nurse. And he's like,
Well, they did
my
mention
job is to fuck
that.
you good. It's allowable in this world,
Yeah. And all I needed was that sentence saying it was okay. Because I kind of was the same thing, like, is this? But then he was like, it's not, what did he say? It's not encouraged, but it's also not frowned upon. And I was just like, no, that's enough for me. Carry
I
on.
can accept that. But it was hot. He does a little dom sub with her. I would reread those scenes. And then it like pretty quickly
Sam's-
thereafter started to fall off. But
Yes. His dirty talk was, yes.
So fucking good. Just the way he talked to her, that dirty talk gets motors running from a cold start in North Dakota. I swear to God, I was like, holy shit, that's so good.
He had one of the sweetest lines too. So not only like this guy who has this like filthy ass mouth, he also told her he loved her first, and she got like a little panicky
Right away.
about that. And then his response back to her was, I do love you. My dad died when I was 9. Growing up without him was hard. I learned not to hold back my feelings or not to say I love you because you never know when it will be your last day. If there's something I want to do, I do it. If there's something I want to say, I say it. So when I tell you I love you, I fucking love you with every single part of me. We don't live and love on anyone else's timeline but our own. And it's okay if you can't say it back yet. I'll say it for the both of us. When you're ready, I'll be there. Sam, you and that filthy mouth, you say sweet things like that. I will take it.
Not only is that sweet, it's just relieving. Right?
Yeah.
The concept you don't have to question. You know that the intentions are, this is what I'm feeling right now.
Yes.
Like that is some good shit.
though in this book, they went a little hot and heavy on the backstory drama for the characters, though. I just feel like it was like, let's transition into an emotional moment where we learn about the backstories of our characters. And I was like, no, I've had
Now,
enough. Thank
I'm
you.
going to say a little bit. Tom was my least favorite character. I could punt him off of a building because I think he's a dick. But the only thing that's quasi redeemed him is because I knew a little bit about his back history. So that I was like, well, there's a reason he's fucked up. And again, it wasn't even that fucked up, by the way. But if you didn't have all of that context, some of these characters would be really horrifically questionable. And so while I agree it didn't help the story, I think it helped me not go DNF. I put this book down a couple of times. Like, I started it, and I'm a voracious reader, and so I can read really quickly. And I was like, I'm going to put this down for a minute and pick it up again. And perhaps if we had not been recording this podcast, I would not have finished.
I would have DNF'd the middle for sure. I'd have just like, like, okay, how does it end?
I was definitely skimming any of the parts that went. I mean, I read enough to get it, but I was reading it fast. And I will say this book is good for somebody who would be into that type of story. There was a story built around it. As much as we like to joke around about we're not reading these for the plot, I also am, because I do love the books that are very steamy or very sexy, but that do engage me around a plot and like the characters. I'm going to feel the most off something like that. So this did have that. It was just not my cup of tea.
The beginning, very hot, I thought. I was invested in the beginning. And then quickly, I was either bored or I was like, oh my, what is happening here? Like, a lot of cringy things for me in this story. A lot of things where I was like, not hot. And I think cervix hitting, I think that was something all of us may have mentioned. There was a lot of hitting of the cervix. Why? Why are we hitting it so much?
Yeah, we're going to...
Brutishly hitting the cervix.
Yeah.
Like, anybody in real life who's ever had that happen to them, it fucking hurts.
Yeah.
So the concept that you are, like, hammering at my cervix, get the fuck off me.
Who likes this? Who out here in the world is hit my cervix, baby? Because when it's happened to me, I'm like, I've been attacked.
Yeah, I've been cooter punched.
Oh no. What's happened? Am I broken? Am I wounded on the inside?
Am I bleeding? Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about Marcus, because Marcus was the alpha, right? You've got Sam and you've got Tom, who are betas, Emily, who's the omega.
Omegas are the breeders, and the betas are what? Just fluffers? Like, what's their role?
So the alpha makes decisions, the beta makes them happen.
And the omega is like caring for the home and having the babies.
I thought Marcus was the weakest alpha I've ever seen in a story.
Absolutely.
What decisions did he make? There was one time he made to have this like wedding reception that she didn't want and that she was miserable at, and that's really the only active decision he made, because he asked everybody else, like, Tom, should we move them into our apartment? And so again, I like the fact that he was asking for reference points, but all he was just a cock.
I was just gonna say, all he was a big fucking dick. Yeah.
Well, and he made the money.
Yeah,
He's the money maker. He's affording their penthouse lifestyle.
So was Tom, though.
Yeah,
that's true.
Tom was also a very well-known artist. And also, I thought that the hottest part of this book was actually the picture book. I thought the concept of taking photographs of bodies in motion during sex in that boudoir style is fucking beautiful.
Yes.
And then creating this like keepsake, I was like, this is the sexiest part of this whole fucking book. Well, next to Sam and the butt plug, but we'll get there later. I just was like, wow, this is a huge turn on to see bodies in motion.
Yep. That's what I put.
Without it being like porn.
I would love to go to his exhibit 100%. I would love for him to come and photograph me and put me up in his exhibit. That would be such a cool thing to have in your life. Yeah, I thought that was really, really cool.
I would turn an entire bathroom into that.
Yeah.
You would just walk into my house.
Bedroom.
I'd paint the walls black and do some floral shit. And you want to come into my bathroom, you're going to come into my bathroom.
Yep. You're going to come in my bathroom.
So I think that's an excellent segue, because there's a lot of cum in this book. There's a lot of cum happening.
This is what I felt about this book. It felt like every time I was just about to be like, oh my God, this is so fucking hot, the next sentence would be something to take me completely out of it. It would either be like, he inspected me for tears in my labia, or he thrust into my womb, and I would be just an instant ice bucket over me. And it was like I never actually achieved any kind of full climax from anything because it was just like, oh God, no.
The worst kind of edging.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not like ramping me up. You're like ramping me down. Like, wait,
Yeah.
wait.
You're like,
Yeah.
oh.
It was an edge.
I do think that's a perfect time to talk about the euphemisms in this book because there were many.
yeah.
And I would say most of them were the worst. That was my opinion. If I never hear someone use the word seed for cum again, it was like every word. I was like, seed again, seed, 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 seed. It drove me absolutely crazy. Every time I read it, I wanted to scream.
Yeah, I have so many labia references. I know that's not exactly a euphemism, but I just thought that was uncalled for.
Well, there's some other things in this book that I don't know about you guys, but I had to do a little, as we say, half-cocked internet research about. And these are some things I've seen in multiple books, but I don't know why I didn't think to myself I needed to Google more about them. But one of them is he's like touching his dick from the outside, like inside of her, but then like touching it from the outside of her body. And I was like, can you do this? It never happened to me before. According to Reddit and Google, it might be possible depending on the pee and the position.
Yep.
Have you experienced this before?
And how skinny you are, just so we're on the same page.
Yes.
How skinny you are in my younger days and much thinner. This is a thing. You can, I mean, it's not like you can see it, but you can, if you put pressure down there and in the position you're in, you can feel it push against your womb.
You can't see
really
it
your womb, but
protruding
you know
because
what I
in my mind it was like I'd be looking at my stomach and there'd be like a jutting thing and then you could like give it a little rub. So no, that's
Somebody,
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
somebody
it's not
was-
for me. I haven't had a monster 2-pound salami
Yeah.
inside me, so I don't know. But
I did a lot of half-cocked internet research. I read that you have to be pretty skinny and like from certain angles. The description I read did not sound fun or anything I would want to do. And I've certainly not had that experience, but I just had to read this though, because this made me laugh really hard. And I found this during my research. I've never seen that, but with my ex-girlfriend, you could sometimes you could sometimes see a small poo bump on the lower right part of her stomach. To my great amusement, I was able to push it around a bit through the skin. I could move it maybe 10 centimeters back and forth. She was very skinny and would have to be lying down just right for the bump to be visible. And then the comment right under that was, well, that's enough internet for me. And that is exactly how I felt. Like I just wanted to be like, I am done with Google for today.
oh my God.
At least thanks to you two, I used a private browser.
Woo-woo!
You do not want to see the Instagram ads from that research. I'm going to tell you right now. That is a whole Reddit rabbit hole that you do not want to go down. I love how clinical he was with it. Ooh, I was able to move it about 10 centimeters back and forth. Like he's doing it for science. He's like, oh, how curious.
I'm sorry.
What happens when I do this?
If I have enough poo in me that you could see it through my stomach, have a little poop bump, don't fucking press on that. There's going to be a poopocalypse, like wherever we are. Like, leave it alone.
I am worried about this girl because that seems like that's like a lot of shit
That's
and
emaciated.
very skinny.
Yeah.
In order to be able to visualize that, either one is concerning, whatever is the, or both.
Yeah, that creeps me out. yo.
So speaking of
Creeps,
bulging, I think, which is perfect. The other thing that I've seen this in books before is bulging with the quantity of cum inside the body. And the quote of this was, her little belly bulges with the quantity of his emissions. He might be a lackluster fuck, but his volume is decent. And so I also was like, could you theoretically, if someone had enough cum, more than the average human male, could you expand? And I don't think you can, but I did come across something called a cumflation kink, which is essentially this concept where there's so much cum that's released in the body that it inflates and expands. So that is a kink that exists. I don't know who out there is, you know what I want while I'm having sex, a bigger belly. I'm not sure who that intrigues, but it's a kink and it exists.
Oh, that's so good.
Would not have guessed.
Can we talk about this for 2 seconds? Like, biologically, not possible. You'd have to be inside the cervix
Well, they
in
have
order
been.
to put in.
They have been a lot. They
Well,
did
that's
talk
true.
about a lot in this book.
A lot of cervical action in this story.
Yeah. But like, it's not possible. So we can just let this go.
Yeah, and the cum is
don't-
not in your stomach unless you're swallowing gobs and gobs and gobs of it, right?
Correct. That's the other thing. And do you know where your stomach is, people? Can we talk about biology for a second? Your stomach is all the fucking way up here, not down there. All the way up here.
Okay,
Thank you.
I think for the sake of these, maybe not in human sex like that we know it, but like in this book, it would make sense to me, especially given how much they talk about like the dick is going into the womb, it's going into the cervix, it's doing all of those things. And then there's enormous amounts of cum coming out.
So when I was going to get an IUD many moons ago, they hook you up to this machine, they open up your cervix, and they flush with a whole bunch of water in order to expand it. Blow it up with air, it expands. All of this process hurts so badly. This is the thing that everybody tells you, like when women go to get an IUD, is that you should be under
Yes.
general anesthetic or a local anesthetic of some sort because it hurts really bad. And so every time they're talking about this high volume, as someone who has experienced this horrific
Yes.
fucking pain, I'm like, this is an idea in your head that sounds really good, but you've never had an experience in your womb where somebody is putting a whole bunch of fluid, because it fucking sucks.
I did look up the cervical stimulation thing because we were talking earlier about who wants that.
Oh yeah.
And it says some individuals find the sensation of cervical stimulation during sex pleasurable, while others find it uncomfortable or painful. It can be based on individual anatomy, arousal levels, even the stages of the menstrual cycle.
Fascinating.
Now, I have one of my really great friends. She and I have been friends since we were like 5, no lie. She had a hysterectomy maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and we were having a conversation about this like last year. She had all of everything removed, and she was like, I don't orgasm as hard without the cervix. And so I'm sure that there are people who like those parts matter.
The only other thing I had from half-cocked internet research, I looked up what is the longest dick on record. Jonah Falcon, who has a 13.5-inch penis when it's erect. And then there's a guy in Mexico named Roberto Esquivel Cabrera, is measured at 19 inches. However, Cabrera has been stretching himself since he was a kid. Stretching himself.
I just feel like this is just not something that women would do. Like, I was thinking, like, is there women out here like stretching their labia to get to be like the who has the longest labia?
I think the reality is there are women who are, trying to have their breasts be the biggest things in the entire world.
The longest recorded length of the labia is 7 inches.
Whoa.
7-inch labia.
Whoa.
That's quite long.
Average length is
Yeah.
3 inches.
Now, are
Or
we
like
talking length? Are we talking like length as it
Length
curves
or
around
like-
your hootenanny to your booty? Or are we talking dangling flaps of beef? What are we talking here?
You know,
I need
interest-
photos.
I'm looking them up, but they're all like covered.
Oh.
Are you in a private browser?
No, damn it.
Oh, Jess, you were doing so well.
'Cause 7 inches dangling down would be, I think honestly that would be problematic for cleanliness
Your
and
pants.
whatnot. And
Like,
yeah, and clothing.
Yeah.
I just think like you'd get caught.
Little fruit roll up situation.
And imagine that with hair on it.
Yeah.
That would get everywhere. Wear a jockstrap for your labia.
I am definitely
Then it would
regretting
actually be
looking this
folds.
up. Why did you make me do this? Okay, I'm done. You guys can look it up yourself. I don't want to.
Okay. I think this is a great time for a quick little smash or pass round. What do we think?
Let's do it.
Love it.
Let's do it. First off, clit clamps. Smash
Pass.
or pass?
Pass.
Pass, pass, pass.
Pass. Puppy play.
Pass.
Well, maybe on that. Spanking?
Totally smash.
Smash.
Totally smash. Absolutely agree. Erotic photos? I think we already know the answer to this.
Yeah.
So there was like a pretty strong biting scene in this book. Biting till bleeding and also like licking up the blood. What are our feelings on this?
Love nibbles, I'm into. Biting for blood, not into.
Theoretically, I'm into biting for blood. Like, I love a vampire, like blood sucking fantasy narrative. Am I going to suck the blood out of my partner's neck? I don't think so, but I still think it's kind of hot to read about. I didn't hate it in this
Yeah.
book. I thought it was kind of hot.
I'm not a hard pass, I guess. I could be convinced, maybe.
There's a world in which,
I'm curious.
yeah, I'm bite curious. Let's see, what else? Yeah, what about having a bond where you can sense your partner's emotions? That was an interesting thing.
Oh, God, I could fucking use that because my husband is a mute when it comes to talking about feelings.
Same.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Because I was like, in real life, I think I would
Yeah.
love to be able to know what my husband actually is feeling. Because sometimes he doesn't even know. He just has a big emotion. But I would prefer for him to be
Totally.
verbal and be like, I'm feeling this.
there's so much feeling that goes into being a human, especially it feels like in this day and age. And I'm never one to tell somebody, I know how you're feeling, but I can pick up on emotions. Like when somebody is around me. And I just think it's my job to be encouraging and helping people feel comfortable saying whatever they need to say versus trying to browbeat it out of them. Don't tell my husband I said that, though. So I could definitely be like, no, tell me. You have
Same.
words.
Same.
Okay, here's our last one. Edging. How do we feel about edging?
Fucking love it.
Same.
Smash all the way home.
Smash, 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 smash.
I need somebody to tell me what edging is. Is it just
You're gonna love
teasing?
this. No.
No. Mm-mm.
It is literally bringing someone to the edge of orgasm and then backing off and then picking up again and backing off. And it's the play like between like how far can we push this?
So it's literally this fucking book, except I never got a climax. It's just the book kept taking me like,
No,
"Ooh,"
no, no.
and then it would take me out,
Different.
and then take me out.
No, you're not taking it out. You're just like dialing it back. You're not, because you're not, it's not
Yes.
jarring. Oh God, you said seed again. Oh, you attacked my cervix.
Okay, it's on purpose. And
It's like,
yes.
you know you want it. I'm moving quickly and then I'm just going to go slow.
Yes.
And then I'm moving quickly and then I'm going to move slow. Oh, yeah, it's good.
I am a smash because this is something I need because I tend to be, and just in life, I tend to be impatient and like kind of there's a rush. And so something that I am always working on is patience and slowing down and being more intentional and mindful. So yeah, I'm a smash on that.
Well, let's get into our moans and groans. Let's hear from the good people of the internet. We all know what we think about the book, but what do the good people of the internet have to say?
Barbie, she said, 1 star. I am not a fan of straight for you, saying Barbie. Like, at all. If the character Tom hadn't been included, I would have given this book 4 stars, and it was shaping up to be 4 stars until Tom entered the story. Yes, ma'am.
Poor Tom.
Barbie knows a good thing or two.
This was a quote, and it was also in the summary of the book, which I got confused about. So I don't really know who exactly said this, but Jen, 4 stars. When they say it's the literary equivalent of a bunch of fetish gear dumped in a dumpster and set in fire, they really weren't kidding.
We already talked about, like, I didn't think the story was my cup of tea, but this did make me giggle. This is Mama Reads, 4 stars. I wasn't expecting much of a story. Colored me surprised because the story was super cute. It's sexy AF, but the story tucked between the butt cheeks of lovemaking time is just really sweet.
A story tucked between the butt cheeks of love.
Game
That should be
grosses
on
me
my
out.
tombstone.
Yeah.
You guys both have your tombstones. This should be mine. Elisa, a story tucked between the butt cheeks of love.
I will make that happen for you if at all possible.
So funny.
Well, Rachel, 2 stars. Top tier smut, low budget plot.
There was one more that I thought was funny.
Oh, yeah.
It was a 1 star. It says, this grated on me in unexpected ways. Me too, sis.
I honestly
Me
agree
too.
with that. That's like the one I agree with the most. Do we have a chili pepper rating and a moisture meter?
I would say it is a 5 for chili pepper, but it is a 1.5 moisture meter.
I might actually agree with that because it's more than a 1, but it's not a 2 for me.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with everything you're saying. 5 chili peppers and a 1.5 moisture. Because I got a little drippity drip in the beginning. I was like, ooh,
Yeah.
we've got
yeah.
this.
I also got really, like, the motorcycle butt plug scene was
Yeah.
pretty sexy, schmexy.
I mean, there were things in there.
Yeah.
It would just be something
I love
immediately
that.
after that threw a bucket of water on you, and you were like, "Ugh."
There was no one-handed reviews in this book. I did not have to make a orgasm tally, and that disappoints me.
Yeah.
That is not what I'm here for. So, Jess, what's on our nightstand? What are we reading next time?
Next time, we will be reading The Dragon's Bride by Katie Robert. Taking a little break from Neon Gods, I guess. I know she has written a lot, but that's what I'm most familiar with her for.
Exciting.
What would it be like to be the bride of a dragon?
We're going to find out next time.
Next week. Well, we hope you love this smutty adventure as much as we did. If we made you laugh, blush, or question your search history, hit that like button, subscribe, and leave us a glowing 5-star review. It helps more freaky little strumpets find their way to us. Got an unhinged read we need to tackle next? Slide into our DMs on Instagram at Between the Folds Podcast and share your filthiest favorites. For more information, past episodes, and all the juicy details, visit us at www.betweenthefoldspodcast.com. Until next time, we'll see you between the folds.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Welcome to the club. Pull up a seat between the folds where the kinks all meet. Welcome to the club. Let's slip right through between the folds where literature is loose.
This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The views and opinions expressed are our own and do not reflect those of the authors, publishers, or any affiliated parties. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by any of the authors, publishers, or products mentioned. Yet. Listener discretion is advised due to adult themes, language, and content.